seminar, we're going to get real advanced. Everybody repeat after me. 2, 4, 6. Now say it like you mean it. Say it loud. 2, 4, 6. That's my stick. That's right. Everybody likes that. But we're going to go and get a little more advanced. Everybody take your 2 hands like this. Put them on your crotch. Put them right here at your crotch, and everybody go 2. This is just the men, this is the women 2, over at your crotch. Everybody start over and go 2. Everybody come up to here and go 4. Everybody go up to here and go 6. So I did it. Go back to here, 2 at the crotch. 4. 6. These are several of my favorite techniques and pressure points. As we go through the seminar, we're going to be using these and couple them up with other points. I'm going to give you 2 very dangerous points to start out. They are very dangerous points. In fact, if I were to ask you which is the deadliest point in the human body, you probably would not point to the area that we are going to talk about. But everybody put your hands at your crotch. If you can envision the crease of the legs and where the pubic hair comes across on everybody, where the hair comes across to make a V, right where the hair comes across in the crease of your legs is the 2 that we're talking about on 2, 4, 6. Why are they dangerous? Because it is the only place in the human body that you have 3 nerves going through with no protection. There is no muscle protection in those areas. I got involved in those points years ago. We use them with caution. Through clothes, it's somewhat muffled. But those of you that open kata by going like that, are actually supposed to be thinking about where the pubic hair meets the crease. When you fire out those 2 techniques. If someone is on you and you fire in your punch into that area, you will put them back in this manner and knock them off of you. They are so dangerous. One of the ways I found out about those pressure points is a doctor who is in my group and has helped me do research. He's now out in Indianapolis, Indiana, but he was involved in an autopsy of a teenage boy who died. Several doctors were to find out why this young boy died at a martial arts tournament. He did a sword kata with a wooden sword, a bokken. He used a wooden bokken. He was so into the kata, they told me it was beautiful. It was one of the best katas they've seen, and yet he was only a green or a brown belt. He took the wooden sword, did his final flip, put it in the belt, and shoved, and the tip of the sword went in the opening that I'm telling you about, and hit the cross of the 3 nerves bare right on, and he died. And they had to find out why. And the doctor told me, he was in on the autopsy. He got me aside because he's also the person that helped me do a lot of my medical study. I'm going to get a chart. I'm going to turn the chart around. We're going to let her video it when we take a break. But I took the chart here, and what we have, and we only had a green marker, but what we have, everybody kneel down now. Everybody kneel down. I'll just put this on display so that you can see it, and maybe the camera can close in on this. This is rendition of a person's body with the pubic hair, and this is the area that we're talking about, where the pubic hair ends and the crease of the leg is there. This is the opening. It is that large. It is better than an inch opening. Depending on the height of the person, it's better than an inch opening. The opening enlarged has 3 nerves going through it. This, you might not be able to see it from where you're sitting, but I just want to explain that when you go home tonight, or you go back to wherever you are, and you get undressed, find that spot on you. It is such a dangerous spot, you will not stick your finger in the hole that I'm telling you about. You'll only touch it, and you will not put your finger in that hole. You understand that? That's the 2 that we're after. This is the V with the pubic hair. This is your leg crease. Right at the top of the hairline, this is where we're talking about. This is where we're talking about. In each dot that's here, you have a muscle that layers like this across. You have a muscle that comes up from the leg in a sweep, and you have a muscle that goes down the leg in a sweep. This is the area that's not covered. There are no muscle over those nerves. Enlarging that area, this is the muscle sweep down here, this is the muscle, and there are 3 nerves coming off the leg that come up through that opening. And I just drew the enlargement. It is that crossing of those nerves. And on the one that doesn't actually cross, it kind of does a letter C. Now this isn't exactly accurate in medical terms. I'm just letting you know, and it's not that large of an area, it's that large though. And when you do that move in a kata, if you think about that, there's no one that you won't stop from getting on you, or if they're down wrestling in the ground and you stick a thumb in that area, or you stick a knuckle in that area, you need something to get into that area. I was told by an Oriental master after I actually found out about that area from a doctor that when you do that movement in kata, you should be sticking out that finger to strike at that area. Very dangerous spot to attack. You can tap it through clothes. It works through the heaviest clothes and you'll back the person up. Naturally, the least or the less clothes he has on, the easier it is to attack that area. If he has on heavy clothes, the tap will send him back. Bruce Lee used to attack the xiphoid process. The whole secret behind his 1-inch punch was to put a telephone book when he would unload the weight of his body on you. And the telephone book, most people don't know or understand, was there really to protect you or protect Bruce, because he would unleash his body weight, and if he would break the xiphoid process in your body, which is in my first book, it's described, but if he would break it off, there's a chance you're going to die. And Bruce put the phone book so he could unleash the body weight, and there wasn't a chance of killing you. So if somebody has on heavy clothes or you have on gi, you can tap this area, and you're not going to necessarily kill the individual. But if he had on swim trunks or something less, and you attack in that area, there is a chance he's going to die, especially if you get your delivery to those 3 nerves at the same time. You're going to shut down his body. And I just thought I'd tell you about that and explain that. So that was our 2. Now we're going to go up to 4. Up at the neck, we have 4 pressure points that we're going to be working with today. Stomach 9 and 10. Stomach 9 and 10. Take 2 fingers, place them like this. Take 2 fingers and place them on the other side. And what we do with stomach 9 and 10, I'll leave this here so you can look at it as we go through. What we're going to do with stomach 9 and 10 is work it several different directions. People say, well, is it direction up or is it direction down? How many think up? How many think down? That means you watch my videotape. You watch my videotape. You can do it up or down. Stomach 9, stomach 10. Stomach 9 starts 1/3 the way up on everyone's neck. You look at everyone's neck and you're 1/3 the distance from the bottom. 1/3, and you're at stomach 9, just below it is stomach 10. They control your opponent's blood pressure. They can stop the blood pressure with, drop the blood pressure, not stop it, but drop it 20 points immediately. This is one of the places that if you have high blood pressure, it's recommended you massage every night. I tell people that have had an exciting day or a lot to eat, or you have a big plan for tomorrow, to lay in bed flat on your back and just massage those 2 points in and down. They relax you. They bring the blood pressure down. If you have high blood pressure, you should be doing those all the time. The points that we're working with today, because I do know that one man has had a major heart operation that's in this room. The points that we're working with today, you're not to be doing them on anybody that has a bad heart. You're not to even fiddle with them. They can practice on you, but you ain't to be playing with them on them. Some of the points, depending on body mass, heavier people, you won't get at these two. So then we'll show you other ones that we're going to use. So we're going to work other alternatives in that area. But these are the two major ones that you should focus this move at if somebody attacks you and grabs you in a bear hug. Stomach 9 and 10, really, if you're going to use those, you need to use them both at the same time. Here, let me use you. Because I don't want to. Right? The sternal muscle, sternocleidomastoid muscle, comes from the top or the base of everyone's skull and goes to the tip of everyone's collarbone. That's everyone in the world. We never attack on this muscle. We never attack on that muscle. We got to get in front of that muscle. We got to get in front of that muscle. That muscle is there to protect the nerves, vessels underneath. People talk about stomach 9. It's one of the points that makes me the maddest, because everybody goes and blows smoke about stomach 9, that's all we use at our seminars. And they make it sound like that. Well, not today we are. We're making them happy. Only I left them ramble on for so many years about what they didn't know about stomach 9, so now I can bring out what they should know. Because they're teaching it wrong. It's in magazines wrong. The guy in England's doing it wrong. The guy in Australia's doing it wrong. Stomach 9 goes with stomach 10. You have a hyperglossal nerve that just connects from the two angles, making it a Y. Right here and here. Connects with a nerve called herring nerve. Takes it right to the vagus nerve, straight to the heart. So that's why you should not play around with those. Stomach 9 and 10 need hit at the same time, not independently, at the same time. That's where a karate ridge hand was designed to strike. A ridge hand should be made like this, with the thumb getting out of the way. If you bend the thumb, you will not deliver the technique to stomach 9 and 10. The thumb got to be straight. It's got to be pulled and the fingers stretched as if you're trying to bend them all this way. When you have them bent this way, you will accent these two knuckles. When you accent those two knuckles, they are perfect. Now, who figured that out, I don't know. A genius. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Because I have a book with that technique in, 600 years old. So I didn't originate that technique, but I've done my research and my study. And when that hand is made perfect, so that's why people that make any hand they want, I can look at them, I'll tell you, they'll never deliver the technique. It's like breaking. I have a videotape on breaking. I explained to somebody earlier today, you'll be able to go watch anybody break something and know that whether they're going to make the break or not. They're doing it wrong. If it's wrong, it ain't going to work. I don't care how big they are. You make the thumb any way you feel like it, it's not going to work. It's got to be straight and pulled back, and the technique puts this knuckle and this knuckle perfectly in line with stomach 9 and 10. With 9 and 10. And the technique is a ridge hand delivered in and down. And it tilts. To practice that technique early on so we didn't injure people. To practice it. And to show how it works. I wrapped a towel around people's necks to tap it. We used to practice by taking this person's knuckles and having him put his knuckles on stomach 9 and 10. And then practice our ridge hand into there. So if you want to practice that at your dojo, you have a student put the hand against, then he places 2 knuckles on stomach 9 and 10. I had a seminar, this goes back a couple of years, but some people protect like that. And I actually had an Oriental man that went like that. And I hit his knuckles into his points. Because he's got his 2 knuckles on his own stomach 9 and 10. If I tap down, he's going to go, and you saw the effect from a touch. This muffles it. That muffles it. So that's how you can practice without hurting this guy's neck and putting him straight away. That's what we would do. So I'd say put your knuckles there, and we would just stand and tap to get the angle and direction. And you saw, stagger, he went back. Now if you do it without the knuckles there, you will drop the individual. But I didn't want to drop him, we don't have catchers. But I wanted to show you how we practice it. Then we went from that to a terry cloth towel. And we put a terry cloth towel around the neck, and we would tap in. Stomach 9 and 10 must be done together. You've got to sit up straight. Must be done together. Stomach 9, you can sit down because I've already tapped you. Stomach 9 alone is struck upward. Upward. Not down. That's why I left that alone. All these people in the magazines are stomach 9 this, stomach 9 that. And they're coming up with every other direction except the right direction. Stomach 9 up. Let me use yours there. Person should be taller than you for stomach 9. He should be bigger and taller. Stomach 9, you strike with, again, this knuckle. This knuckle. This one is easy to do, and you'll all be able to practice it lightly. Remember the distance of everyone's neck, 1/3 from the bottom of their neck is stomach 9. Divide his neck, 1, 2, 3, there's stomach 9. You can look at your opponent within a second and know where stomach 9 is to attack. If he has a short, squat neck, it's down further. If he has a long neck, it's up higher. It's 1/3 up from the bottom on everyone's neck on both sides. Stomach 9 on this side controls this arm. Everyone understand? Yes, sir. Stomach 9 on this side controls this arm. The angle and direction is straight up 45 degrees like a rocket taking off. This is one of the areas, in fact, it's probably the first area. I've showed you other meanings for this move out of kata, but those that do this in a kata and turn, you are attacking 2 stomach nines on the way up. Now in other seminars, so that it wasn't as violent or whatever, I showed you other reasons or meanings behind that same climb. If this guy grabs me with one arm and he's tense, I would tap him on this stomach nine going that direction, just like a rocket straight up. It will do nothing except tingle that arm and release it from me and make it go to sleep. Is it tingly? He felt pain or a shot all the way down here. It's an easy move to do. It's done like a rocket climb. It's got to be at a 45-degree angle. Your opponent should be taller than you. If he's not, you would have to lower it because you must be climbing that direction. Had he grabbed you with that side, tense, the thumb, that knuckle, would tap stomach nine on a constant climb, and that hand gets the shot. What is dangerous? If he grabs you like this and pulls you tense, is to do both sides. Because this drops the blood pressure. This controls the blood pressure coming out of the heart. This controls it coming out of the head, actually. So it's actually dangerous to strike both sides at the same time, but in the kata, that's why that move was created. That move was created. Because if you grabbed me and did that, I naturally have stomachs 5 that you use. We have triple warmer 17, we have gallbladder, but a real easy one for short people is to tap on the way up. It's excellent for police. It's excellent for police. Because if a policeman is grabbed and goes for the weapon or anything, he just taps it here with a climb. And that arm will just do that and release. And he feels it go like that. You'll feel it when you practice it on each other. You're going to do that lightly on each other. Don't want you to get carried away. Don't want you to hit the necks hard. You must fold it out so that this knuckle is present. You must stay at 1/3 on everyone's neck. Get in front of the muscle. In fact, as beginners, you can place it here. You can just place it, back off a little bit and just tap like that. Did you feel it? You'll feel it. And you don't even need to do the grab. The grab sets him up that it hurts him more. But you understand how they're used now. Somebody grabs you, stomach 9 is like a rocket that direction. And it'll shoot the pain down that arm. The harder you do it to him, the faster it shoots the pain down his arm and numbs his arm. And what you do is you try it on one side, you try it on the other side. That one's completely safe to practice. 9 and 10 you should not practice like I am doing it here. 9 and 10, we would put the hand in reverse and just lightly tap, just that the guy feels a buzz. He'll feel it. He'll go, whoa, I felt it. Well, if he felt that, that's all he has to feel. Because without the towel or without his hand, that in and down on stomach 9 and 10 is going to drop it. In fact, I'm so convinced that that'll drop a bull because of the connection of the 2 points being in and down. Those that have seen a kata called the white crane, it's on the end of one of my videotapes. You'll see the man go like this. And you'll see the tilt. Well, now you know what he's doing. He's got all that out of the way, and the tilt is to stomach 9 and 10. Okay, you can sit down. That was our 2. These are 4 points. You gave me this idea last night. You said, don't do 2, 4, 6. I said, I gotta do 2, 4, 6. It's my opening.
Reverse psychology.
So, yes. So now I did 2, 4, and we're coming up for 6. 6 is gallbladder. You have beautiful gallbladders. You have beautiful gallbladders. Stand up here. You have gorgeous gallbladders. Just stand right here and look at the camera for a minute, and then I'll have you face the audience. But right here is a V of a pressure point, and a pressure point. I don't know if you'll pick it up on the camera, but he has an indent at those 3 places. If he were to go out and be drinking alcohol, by midway through the first drink, this crease will be deeper. We point that out a lot of times when we're out. We'll go, look, that guy's had a few too many, and you can see it inset. A tap to gallbladder would put him down or out. You have 1 point, and 1 point there. This V is the easy place to attack. From a grab, just straight on. Here, here, and here. The people that have problem with that, let me use you again. Because your head, you stay up, you stay up, you stay up. Your head, his head is square up front. There is the round forehead. There is the almost square type. And then there's the tilt back. Where people have a problem with attacking the gallbladders is they attack everybody the same. The square head needs attacked from a 45 degree. The round or perfect shaped head for this technique can be attacked straight on like that. Straight on like that. But with the square head, if I attack it straight on, I'm missing the point over here. I'm only hitting these 2 points. I need that. Now if I attack him, he'll blink, get dizzy from the lightest tap. Because I came from that angle and direction. Your opponent for the gallbladders should not be taller than you. Should not be taller than you. They're a little taller than me, and I know enough about it, I can get away with it. But you should not have to reach up to do those. They should be in this range. Your height works great if they're a little bit shorter than you. Most people don't understand that when they do the pressure points, your height and weight of your opponent matter. A heavy person that's obese and has a lot of fat in this region. In fact, I read a book on Tai Chi, and it says that the Chinese masters deliberately developed the belly that you see. When you see all the masters in China, they have a fat or a pot belly, and it wasn't because they could afford the extra food, as people were saying. It was to protect the spots that would kill them the fastest. Whether you believe that or not, I do. Because these spots are very dangerous and deadly. In fact, we just got a study. There's a study now released. People are passing it around on the internet, faxing it to me. But they've done a study of children and adults, kids through adult, killed with a baseball, a cricket, and a hockey puck. 25 out of 25 were killed here in this area, all of them. None of them over here, which also goes to prove my theory early on. If you remember, I started in 1983 teaching this theory, that the most deadly places on the human body are over here. That's why kata has a right move, a left move, and a right move, because for every 2 moves that you do to this side, it's easier to kill an opponent over here. to actually kill. Which brings up another thought. I watch other people's pressure point tapes, and they use the word kill too readily, as if they can do that. I say to them, how many people have you ever killed? None. On all the techniques, there is a given chance of death. A given chance of death. And we don't take that chance in the seminar, is what I say. But no one's going to say, well, this will kill you. There's people who have videotapes. If you hit here, here, and here, he'll die. Hit here, here, and here, he'll die. Wrong. Maybe there's a 20% chance to die. Maybe there's 10. Maybe there's 4. Some of the areas have up as high as 80 or 90% chance. But he won't just die. And then it depends on, is he on drugs? Is he on alcohol? Is he a heavy smoker? Is he doing marijuana? Then some of these points become more sensitive. So he's not just going to die. But today, when we get up to work, I'm giving you pressure points for the person that's your range, your height. I'm giving you pressure points in the neck if he's taller than you. If he's taller than you, you have stomach 9, up like a rocket. If he's your height, you have here. Any range for the groin unless he's too short. Then you wouldn't go down for them. If he's that short, the gallbladder will be right there. So that's why these 2, 4, 6 are important. When you fire into the 2s and hit for the 2, if he grabs at me, that's going to put him in that, and then he's set up for that. He's set up for that. Because once you hit him in the 2s, he'll be doubling down and you would hit. I trust the gallbladder, I trust stomach 9, and I trust these so much, they would probably be one of the first that I would use in a self-defense situation. I don't want to hit you just anywhere. You go to move, bang, that's my shot. Take you out. I guarantee you it's going to dizzy you. If you're dizzy at the fights, then in my court. There's a good 70% chance you're going to knock the person out on gallbladder alone if you know how to do it properly. You must seal off the area with this. You must seal off. On one of my earlier tapes, I explained that I practice it by doing this. You hear that little pop? You hear the pop? If I hear that pop coming off the head, it's like the home run. You don't even have to look. If I hear that suction, you don't even have to look, he's going down. Because you want to seal off those gallbladders. You want to seal them. And it's the coming off that's going to make him dizzy. If you tap, just the lightest tap, it must have this behind it. It must have that. This seals it. This messes up the energy in those 3 points. And it's all done at the same time. See what I'm doing? It's done at the same time. I tap and turn. Just the lightest tap. And now you sit down. Just sit down. Just sit down a second, because he got a head rush if you see it. You still have it, I think, too. We'll get energy back. And I told you you have a beautiful gallbladder. Take that home to your wife, your girlfriends. My gallbladder is really beautiful. Only one at the seminar complimented on my gallbladder. But anyway, I wanted to show you the effect that it caused, and he felt the sensation. They're set up on the head by the feet, by outside here, outside the thigh. They're set up. If you need the person outside the thigh, if I need him outside the thigh, which I didn't do, or tread on his foot, and then hit up there, he would go down then for the count. That effect would have been worse. If I hit him and doubled him over, then he was coming in to that attack. It could have hurt him or it would have affected him worse. we're going to get you up. We're going to show you the 2, 4, 6. Then we're going to pair off to work on them. And then if you have any questions, I want you to ask me. If I stand up, hands on the groin, 2, 4. That's the way to protect them. 6. One technique that I have in a kata comes from a cat stance. It pushes, and it strikes with a ridge hand. It pushes and strikes with a ridge hand. A lot of people would think that's attacking the groin. That's what I was told early on. It looks like it's attacking the groin. It's not. The guy's punching. We catch and we go behind the elbow to the rub point, or we go to the hit point. We put the person down with the cat stance set like that, and the ridge hand is going to strike in 9 and 10, and his neck and my ridge hand will be the exact same shape again. It will fit in perfectly. And since I've already hit him on the opposite side, I don't want to do that because he will go down, but the slightest tap into that area, 9 or 10, bent over into that position, will put him down face first. The only problem with that, you have to watch because they fall nose first with that technique. What I want you to do is you're going to practice with the person punching at you. I want you to parry, catch, go to your hip. I want you behind the elbow to rub, put him just like that, and I want you to simulate. I don't want you to hit anyone's neck in this room. I want you to simulate that. And if you wanted to add to the effect, you would come in behind on Gallbladder 20 as you come in with that. And that's the meaning of this move in my kata. Doesn't look as dangerous as the move is, but that's what you would be doing to your opponent. I want you to practice to catch the parry, put him down, simulate the neck attack. I do not want you touching necks at this point. Try that. Sir. Take the 2 knuckles. I want you to place them right in front of the muscle. He must be touching. If he's not touching, you won't do it. So he must be touching. He's got to talk to you and tell you whether he felt it or not. You do the same ridge hand I showed you. You go to the center of his hand, and you must add that. I want you to do it light. Light. So he... Now you see, you can get away with hitting because the hand muffles. So that's how to practice it. So you're going to try that lightly here, but I don't want you to get carried away. I just want to tap. And back at the dojo, it's safe to practice it like that. You certainly don't want to just hit the guy in the neck raw on. But you want to take and put that there. Then progress from that, put a terry cloth towel around the neck and attack the terry cloth towel. It keeps him from injuring neck muscle, in case you're off. Because you are firing a ridge hand into his neck. But keep in mind that these 2 knuckles out here must stay in front of his muscle, the sterno muscle. You must be in front. If he's on the muscle, it will not do anything. Your chop, ridge hand, would have to be like that, as if you were trying to hit him in the Adam's apple, and then go in and down like that. Everybody try that lightly, and let me help you. Okay? And this is no good for doing neck points if that's too tight. Your opponent is your size, and only even a little bit taller would you use that in and down. You don't use it on a lot taller people. Stretch. Stretch. You don't use it on a lot taller people. Because you would have to reach up for down. This is what most people don't do with their energies and use them properly. A person taller than you, 95% of the time, should be hit with something that constantly climbs. He's taller. You use pressure points that need that angle. I see people, in fact, in one of the new magazines right now. There's a man showing a pressure point to hit, and he's using the wrong knuckle, actually. He's got this knuckle. He's got this knuckle out, showing to hit up. This knuckle, this thumb goes on top to lock it in place, and the thumb does not stop it from coming back in. So everybody make that fist. Just like knocking on a door. In fact, you probably do that. You knock, 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 knock at somebody's door. Now that you know this, do it more. Go visit more people. Get a life. Get out there. This is used for down energy pressure points. Down. Down. Got that? This is used for up energy pressure points. That's what people do not know. They're using this one for upwards. I cannot get that to the places that that will automatically go. When you do this technique, this should be one of the hidden meanings behind just that opening move in the kata. These two come out and go here. Anything, stand up a second. Anything that needs down, the stomach 5 is a good down one. This will go right over top and do that and put the guy down. This doesn't fit up and over unless you take the hand and go that way. This fits perfectly. This would go underneath. This would go underneath perfectly. This one doesn't go underneath and get to the nerve. This on up will go right in that hole. Right in that hole and attack. This will go up. This won't. Just remember that. So if you try on any point, if I say this is an up energy pressure point, you've got to do it with that. If I say it's a down energy, that's going to work. Now, not on the neck ones, because we did them with ridge hands. But we're going to strike down. So we let these sneak out. Have your opponent grab you. I want you to just tap below his belt this way. Just like that. All I want. And you'll see he goes back and gets off. And then think about an attack gallbladder or something that would be coming at you at your height. Because you're not to reach up for gallbladder. If he's taller than you, I'm not to reach up for gallbladder. Why? Because the angle and direction of the 3 gallbladder cluster is that way. Straight through, as if I'm trying to meet this point. Straight through as if I'm trying to meet this point. You don't know how many people I have practiced in this for years, still don't know about the gallbladder, and that's the easiest one to do for self-defense. I mean, I've just tapped people on the gallbladder just to bring them to their senses. Yeah, they get up my face or they do it, and I just say, hey, well, they're like this, then you can talk to them. So you just tap the gallbladder. And if he's taller than you, bring him down. If he's obese or heavy, you will not get into here. You will not get into here. Use his belt, which is dead center, into the conception line. Use this and push in and down that way. If he is very heavy, in fact, Tara, let me use you. Not saying that you're heavy, but come here, heavy person. No, Taro's one of my best buddies. He comes from the country of Finland. He's had me, he's had Mark over, he brings everybody over for seminars, and he's actually becoming one of the leaders of martial arts in all of his Scandinavia. I gotta say that. So give him a round of applause. He come over with his daughter Iris. Iris stand up from Finland just for this seminar. I think they get the I Traveled the Furthest award. But when they're, no, he's holding it in now. Turn around a minute. Right at the top of the stomach, and especially in a person that would be heavier than him, so push it out someplace. Push, there you go. Relax. This is where you would attack, but on obese people you have to be very careful because the direction would be in and down. If they have a big pot belly and you attack in and down, remember all the nerves that come off the organs. You've heard that a heavy person, as this comes out, the nerves stretch because the support for the organs has been lost because the stomach comes out. So if the stomach goes out too far, the organs hang and the nerves are out of stretch. On a very obese person, in and down at what you know as the solar plex is a dangerous to deadly move. Especially if he were grabbing you and you did that and went in or that and went into that hole, because they will have a hole right here. And if you lock into that, he's a little heavier. So I can work that in and down. He would not be, I might not be able to get here. I might not be able to get here. Might not be able to get to the pubic area. But here, you can all get to. And then you simply take a knuckle. Back of your hand, it doesn't matter which knuckle at this point, and push this direction, in and down. And it's going to do that. And if he's grabbing at you, this will hurt him more. This will hurt him more. In and down. So if you have a heavier opponent, do that, but try it lightly. Don't get carried away. If he's really obese, I've had some people at the seminar, I do this. If they're overweight, I only put my fingertips at the solar plex. I take my other hand and put the fingertips on top and just push like that. And I get maximum results. If they're truly obese, if they're big and heavy, and not in shape, just the average obese person, you can go like this and get away with it to let them know this would stop. But I mean, because if you do use a knuckle in and down on that obese person, it will hurt them more because all the nerves coming in behind the solar plex from the major organs are out of stretch. And you have to be very careful because early on, I had some obese people that I did that to, put a little extra into it, thinking because they were big and heavy, they wouldn't feel it. They feel it more. I mean, they go down, they can't breathe, they're gasping for air, and you think you have a major problem on your hands, and you do, because they're losing their wind, everything over that one point. Because you have nerves coming into here that control that lung and that lung. And from an obese person, they're out of stretch. And he will gasp for air on you. So watch it if you do it on anybody that's heavy, but you should know that because if you get a great big heavy person that's going to grab you, you're going to go, what am I going to do with him? Because he doesn't feel anything because of his weight. He does in this region that way. That way. So you have this one, that way. You have the belt. And it doesn't have to be the martial arts belt. Those of you know Ed Lake, I had a policeman in my seminar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and made him sick to his stomach with his own metal belt buckle. I used his metal belt buckle and just pushed it in and down. Dead center. And the bigger the belt buckle, the easier and better it is to do. I love those guys that wear the great big metal one. In fact, I look at that sometimes. They can walk it in like this. And I look at that and I go, boy, but I just like to push your belt buckle. But I did. I made a policeman very, very ill that we had to correct it with his belt buckle. And the whole thing was, I took the metal and shoved it in. And it just happened to be right at the level of the pressure points. And he went down, but I mean, it really affected him. And he was a weightlifter type. So that's what will happen with that. So you use the regular belt buckle. You use your knuckles. Obese people, I use the fingertips in this region, the belt region, the pubic hair line, pubic hair line. Good punch to this area, kind of doubling down. That's one of the areas I strike to and grabs from behind. When they're grabbing from behind, we cut into this area. It's going to cause that to happen, to get out of this for an elbow or a hip. So it's going to get him to do this if he's in behind you with a tap, and not the groin. You don't need the groin. Most people have a natural defense with the groin, and they'll do this, but they can't protect this crease. They can't protect the top of that crease, right where the leg creases. They cannot protect here. They can do this for the groin. That stretches the nerves, and it drops them faster in that crease. Everybody get up, push the belt, or tap it. Thank you. Like this. I want you to start thinking of this, because it'll make it automatic. I want you to test it. I don't want you to really hurt anybody, so I want it very light. You must fold this out of the way so you're using that knuckle. That knuckle. It's 1/3 the distance up everyone's neck. I would not use this technique on you because he has a heavy, short neck. So I would not use that. I would use that, or I would use, oh, you're perfect for gallbladders? Yeah, beautiful gallbladder. And go home and tell people I complimented you. He said I had the nicest gallbladders in the room. But anyways, that's what I would use on this individual. Squat neck, I wouldn't worry. I can't get under there right. And I certainly can't get under there and do that. You understand what I'm saying? Sure. I wouldn't use that on you either because you're shorter. Any short neck, I would not use it. But for the yin and the yang, every time I see a short-necked individual, you look around and study people, when they have a short neck, they always have beautiful gallbladders. The guy that has the big jaw down below usually has a little gallbladder top. The guy that has the big gallbladder top usually has a little jaw. Just study people, you'll see. So you don't hit him on the little jaw, you hit him on the big head. The next one you're going to do is 1/3 the distance in front of the muscle. There's his neck divided in thirds. Here, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3, you must keep that knuckle in front of the muscle. It must be a constant climb. It must be a climb. When a person grabs you with that hand and gives you the tight pull, you simply climb like a rocket. And right there, and that's what's going to happen. And am I right? It numbs and takes out that arm. Let me get that back. So I had to prove a point. You clip it good in a real situation. But you climb like a rocket. Excellent for you shorter people. Excellent, because they grab you. If this works, if you're on the ground, if they're on top of you, if they're rolling around, you just got to know that it's that way, though. It's that way. Works best if they're taller than you. And it's when they're bigger and taller than you, they will give you this garbage. That's when they will pull you up and give you all this and throw their size in your face. And up like a rocket. Stomach 9. Stomach 9. That knuckle. I sometimes will lower down to make sure I bring you down to let my climb happen. I don't just stand like this and do it. If you're shorter, I definitely would. But if you're shorter, you're right there. Don't have to. You start to read people with pressure points. You don't use the same ones on everybody. We study people. Kim and myself, when we're at the airports, we're traveling. Yeah, we just study people and we comment. Nothing big, but between us, go look at that liver. Look at the, oh my God, look at the gallbladder. Taro from Finland commented last night. There were 4 big people over there at the dinner we went to. 4 huge people. And all of us would have liked to attack their gallbladders. Or their stomach nines. It was like, why don't you just push me? Yeah, I invited one to come today free. He wouldn't come. Don't say who, but I told him, and free. But he's supposed to be a martial artist, but he stood there blinking. Boy, did he get insecure real fast. Because I introduced myself. I said, geez, I'm here and I'm in town. Come on over. I said, we'll let you in free. Well, that's probably what did it. At the end, I was going to offer him $50 to come in. Then he would have closed the school and left out. Okay, have the person grab you. Lightly place a hand there. Place the hand there and lightly just like that. And you'll see the response to that side? He's standing like that. They can grab you with both hands. Here, let me use you. Oh my God, he has beautiful stomach nines. Give me one of these you would do. Say he would do that. This is perfect. Look what it does. See what it does to that hand? And you feel it tingle? Naturally, if he did that, and with that neck, I would give him both. Yeah, because of the neck. I would really do both. It was meant for both. But you are not to practice both. You can practice one and then wait and go practice the other one. But both doesn't mean you're going to kill the individual, but there is a slight chance of messing up his heart and his blood pressure fast because you're on both controlling factors for blood pressure. So I do one, then I do the other. But then when I go like this in the kata, that's what I have in my mind. And if he really grabbed me with 2 hands, and I did both, he's ready for them. Neck break, the low kick, the points. And when people talk about the groin, that point is more dangerous to attack than the groin. You have exposed nerve there. Have him grab you upward. If you're not doing it right, let me know. Look. Either one or both of you, I don't care. That's 2 hands. First of all, did most of you feel that on that climb?
Yes, sir.
You'll feel it more if the person is aggressive. You'll feel it more if he's aggressive. You'll feel it more if he really puts it in.
So many people grab you relaxed anyway, so it helps.
That's right. That's right. They won't grab you relaxed. That's what I'm bringing them next. Somebody just asked me, are you attacking with this knuckle? The answer is no. If you attack with this knuckle, you'll dislocate that knuckle. This will do that. You cannot stop that knuckle from dislocating. You use that knuckle for nothing. Except to break if you got a hold of it on your opponent. You do not use that knuckle to break. That's the difficult one to break. You use that knuckle to attack. That is the strongest knuckle you have on the hand. You fold it out of the way so that knuckle will stick out like that to use it. So you do not use this front knuckle. I see people use that. If they really hit somebody hard climbing, they would shove that out the back and you will dislocate back here. But yet, if you take a hold, here, let me use you. If you get a hold of somebody's thumb and you try to work this knuckle, make it firm, you will not get that knuckle. You see that? You can't get it. You only can get that knuckle. You only can get that knuckle. That's the weak knuckle of the thumb. So you do not go after that knuckle. Nine times out of 10, you will not be able to do anything to this knuckle unless you're bigger and stronger and the person's littler. Because this one is strong. This one is strong. But this is the weak one. So this is the one to go after. If I get you in a lock, I use that knuckle. Got that? Okay. He asked about adrenaline rush on the pressure points. There's books out there if you research and read. The main one I started with was the history of Tai Chi. There's books out there, the history of Tai Chi and Yang Chang Feng, and how he discovered pressure points and how he was using it. 750 years ago, he developed the first kata that anybody does, and from that came every other kata. And it was used to map out pressure points. You'll also read in several of those books that they created the drunken style and the monkey style martial arts, but they did not become popular because we do nerve attacking, which is called Dim Mak. That's what we do. That's Kyushu-jitsu. Nerve attacking, pressure points, Dim Mak. They thought the softness would create getting out of the technique. The person goes to do something, go limp. He can be limp, just loose, 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 loose. I put him down. He still felt it. Now resist, strong, strong. Which one hurt the most? The strong ones. Yes. Because if you're limp, it still works. That's why the drunken style and the monkey style did not become popular. We want people to, as you attack, they're going to be aggressive. Okay, you can sit down. The more that adrenaline flow rushes, and the stronger they are, give me strength, he's strong, the more he strengthens up. Oh, or what's really great, oh, I just thought of this. No. If the guy grabs you and he's really strong and gives you this, he cannot grab you and give you strength without pulling all of these nerves. And just like a crown on the head, pull tight, he's got you. If you tap, the lightest tap, regardless of how strong he is, gonna send him backwards. And loosen it up, and then you would close with that, and I'm not gonna hit him on that. But you would get him off, and you'd follow up to what we started the seminar with. Everybody rise. We have fun on this one or what?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Go to the bathroom, do what you have to do. Just wait.
3 points on the back are 3 points here. Small intestine, 3 points. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's a move in the kata, it just goes like this. If a person asks me if a guy's diving at you and he wants to take you down, this will come up on 3 gallbladders. This will go down on 3 small intestine. Just it's nothing but this move from the kata, and it's just easy. If you are practicing a kata with that in your mind, are you all right? Because he's still red.
Give him a round of applause.
How many people do this move in the kata? How many were told that's a groin grab? Here, you come here. Mind if I do this to you?
I don't know you.
I don't know you. Let me see it on somebody else, and then we'll decide.
gonna grab his groin?
Yes. No.
Pick your dad and wear a cup, right?
No, because I heard Wally's miss. But this is what they told us it was. The groin grab. And they never told you, though, that even in the early days when qoute developed, sumo wrestlers would try to take the people down. And all these moves had consideration of people trying to grapple you to the ground. That qoute starts like this, steps like that, goes like that. The angle and direction for the nose is that way, not that way. If he goes to take me down and is diving for my leg,
Here's my catcher, right?
anywhere, you won't need one.
Yes, sir.
This will attack the nose the right way. And I got the yang and the yin, and it's going to be this. Look at the pupils. And I did that as softly as I can because I did not want to break the nose. That move is meant to really hammer that nose and break the gristle loose that direction.
You lose it.
And you lose it.
Yes, sir.
Give him a round of applause. The moves are hidden in the kata. And when somebody made up a goofy explanation, they just kept passing it on. Myself, Kim, and my students years ago went all over this country to train with some of the highest masters in the country, and we got them aside afterwards and said, "Do you know any secrets?" And no, they didn't know any. But it was through perseverance and keeping asking that somebody said yes. It was Hohan Soken in 1972, and he said yes. He said, "This is what you were not shown out of the katas." We taught the katas to the Americans, but we didn't teach them this. And we used to read, you only knew one kata and you were deadly. And that's why I wondered why I knew as many as 45 and 55 and didn't feel deadly. That's because I didn't know I was doing the moves. I thought these were blocks. I thought this was grabbing groins. It's all things that's not going to work. But if you practice with the pressure points, it is teaching you the angle and direction to just wipe out the human body. It's got to be practiced safely. It can't be something you go back and all just do. We only do pressure points for 15 minutes at the end of a class or during the class. We show one pressure point, what it's for, kind of like we did in the back room. We don't stand around and hammer them or everybody be quitting. But we teach one and we work on it. Then when you're doing your kata, you'll have an understanding. This is where it comes out in your mind. Because when you're doing something and you don't know why you're doing it, that's when you have a goofy look on your face you don't know. But when you really know. I taught a seminar in Houston, Texas. My wife will tell you, they had me in to Houston a couple years back for the Oriental community. 80 people come in that were masters of Tai Chi, Kung Fu, to study with me. And I was the one teaching the seminar. So if they're out doing pressure points, I'm the one that really got them doing this with their forms. And there was a Tai Chi master there. He reminds me, there was an 87-year-old Tai Chi master that wouldn't let me alone all night. He followed me everywhere. But when you ask my missus, am I right? He was, "Oh, what's this move for? What's that?" He said, "I'm 87. He says, "All my life, I thought that was a block." And he was following me the whole night. We loved the guy. We had a fantastic time. Okay, let's see you guys do some knockouts. Thank you.
Okay, I'm taking this one off of a punch.
Play to the camera if you would.
Okay, this is fine right here. Off the punch this way. I'm just going to intercept here, so I'm going to be attacking him on his small intestine triple heater on this side here. I'm going to catch him here, and I'm going to smack up into the. I would either go to the nose, but right now we're going to go. He doesn't want that. We're going to go to the gallbladder cross side here. I'm going to pick him up on the face and catch him on gallbladder here. So, punch. Side. Ready?
You almost got Selecki too.
Yeah, no.
They're all going to go.
This is a knockout. It's a technique that actually it's a sales aid. I did this when Taro and I went to go talk to a security company in Finland, and he's a police officer, so I asked him if he could if I can use that. There's no bullets in it. We made sure it discharges shown, so no one gets scared.
Boom!
Okay. This is what I've usually done. Sam, here.
Turn to the camera.
I know, that's what I'm trying to do. Here? Okay. And what happens is, what I learned from Mr. Dillman was that about striking which part of the arm should be struck in gun self-defense. And I tried it when I was talking to the Italian military last year. And I figured, I need this guy's hammering me, I need something to get his attention. Well, I did. Okay, charge. So, thing is, if he's pointing the gun at me, and most police departments are taught to strike this part of the arm, and you can ask him to say to get rid of the gun. Well, what I did was when the gun came in here, I caught the arm and I struck him, but watch what happens to the trigger finger. He fires, but usually for a dramatic effect, I make sure that the boss is right behind me. So he realizes, and actually Taro's training some security people in Finland, because of that. It's a big company. He's doing a great job with them, with little things like this. So I just wanted to do that demo. But it's really, anytime, hold it. Just doing here. You just strike the arm and it goes. Your charge.
Now show him how to take it off
Charge.
without firing. Mark?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the wrong way. Sorry. You're supposed to catch underneath here, so it goes back towards him and it falls down.
If it goes off,
Okay?
If it goes off, it shoots him.
And all I did was just touch the one that releases the wrist that you probably did in the beginner session in the back, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the other one on the other
So I was
side.
doing here and it goes off towards him. And there's other cases that his finger is on the trigger. As you're into here, I'll touch into here. And turn it where you can lock the finger and now you have the gun. If it fires, at least it doesn't fire towards you. Hopefully it doesn't hit anybody. Okay. Thanks.
Everybody like that?
And I like him, he's a big guy.
He said nobody can do anything to him.
That's right. Need someone else.
Yeah, you need a couple touches.
And it's just this move out of one of my cottes, just going into knife hand. Okay, and I do this one a lot because I like this move, and it's worked well for me, so why should I throw it away? Okay, it's something that I probably have a good chance of using if I practice it that much. So every time I do the cut on my hand, you put your mind in your hands. Okay, and all it is I come into the cat stance, I'm going to kick him into the triple yin crossing, and attack the jaw up into here. Just keep your head straight, keep your teeth together.
Wow.
Big guy, too.
Yeah.
Ideally, he's grabbed you, but you want the person relaxed so they don't hurt themselves.
Go to Shihu. The movement is
He
this.
said that don't work.
Okay.
No.
We're going to mute it down because if you hit all 3 points at the same time, you could seriously injure the person. What I'm also going to do is take a principle that Master Dillman has given us, 20-minute rule. You have up to 20 minutes to hit the person, okay, on certain setups. So if the guy was grabbing, which I'm not going to have him do afterwards, all I have to do is activate the pressure point in the foot by stepping on it. And I'm not going to ask him to grab me because it sets up the nerves in the ribs. All I'd have to do is, I'm going to use this with the palm, is take the palm, hit down into the liver, and down into the liver. Hit a palm down in here.
Well, let me see.
Oh, okay. And here. There was a little time delay.
That was excellent. That was excellent.
So if you clip them off the foot, you walk around a little, punch them in the rib, walk around a little bit more, punch them in the other rib, it goes down. So in a sparring match, yes, you can use this. In a street self-defense situation, yes, you can use this. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3. It's hard to do that in a fight, unless you practice your kata well, which you should.
Notice how light he hit, too.
I just rotate him off and open to head, use my technique. But I can also use my grab to wrist and get him down and punch.
Oh, good.
Leg lock underneath.
Well, I hope you got a picture of that kid.
It's out of color, but just his stance. And if he grabs me two-handed and he's bigger, this is useless almost. I have to take some power him a little bit down here, get him down, and then I catch behind the head and the jaw. This time.
You tried to do it too loud, which is good. You can do it. Except you should be chewing gum. What do you think? You think Tony did a good job? Oh, yeah. Huh? We're going to promote Tony. Tony, come over here, a first-degree black belt, and we're going to send him home with his second-degree black belt. We have the diploma in the plaque, and it's signed by Wally, Remy, myself, Leo Fong, whole board of masters. And when we're finished this, he's going to pose for pictures with everybody holding his new diploma. Going out. Okay, who's next?
Brotherly love.
Stealing my clothes, notice.
It does say Klein, doesn't it? Who's fighting who?
Turn for the camera.
This is Anatomical, good shiho. Hands come out in this manner. Comes out in a cat stance. And I tell him I'm going to kick him on the inside of the leg. My hands go in this manner. I'm going to touch stomach 5, just lightly. I slap down here and I touch him on the inside of the leg. And just this move.
Oh, good. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Thank you. That's your record, Mark. Taking it close.
You want to stereo like that?
Can brothers get divorces?
Only in West Virginia.
Okay, this next one is another explanation for this.
Wait a minute, he's a knee dog now. You can't do that to knee dog.
Hi.
Oh. In that case.
Some of you have seen on some of the knockout tapes, this to the jaw. Well, what happened is, when he grabs, we're not going to do that one. Okay, I'm going to do the same movement. I'm moving into cat stance, but I'm to attack on stomach 13. Down. It only works if he reaches back to punch, which would make sense that if he grabs me, he's going to probably try to hit me next. I have to come and knuckle right into here, large intestine 6, and stomach 13. Bring your grab it from your hand back. Whoa. But it won't work if he doesn't punch. We tried it.
Welcome to the second.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah. Day, right? Welcome to the second.
Kind of side, both of your hands come up like this, and your foot goes into a cat stance. Whenever you go into a cat stance, you can be tapping the tripling in point down here. And I'm going to reach and grab in here, super scapular nerve, right on the collarbone, and strike straight into here as I catch tripling in point down here. So he reaches up to grab first and start the attack.
We try to restore their energy right away. It's no good to leave them out too long. Sorry. Tears come back.
No, he still gets there.
How many people going to the banquet tonight? Going to be at the banquet? We're going to do a big celebration for Wally. He's going to be 80 years old. This is his 80th year. Let's all sing happy birthday, because some of you won't be at the banquet. We're going to do it again at the banquet. Let's do it now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wally. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so everybody's released. We'll see you at the banquet tonight. Yes, okay.
That's fine, Wally.
Now do that to Jake again.